The four principal approaches employed in ministering to families are education, enrichment, counseling, and public evangelism. In particular, the department promoted and encouraged spirituality in families by hosting the inaugural Core of Adventist Families with its theme entitled Strengthening Family Altars. This one-week initiative occurred in 6 pastoral districts, 2 in Barbados and 4 in Dominica. It was set up to support the conference's reset strategy back to basics. Dr. Caius Alfred from the St. Lucia Mission and Pastor Amram Williams, the Family Life Director of the Caribbean Union Conference, ministered in the St. James District, while Dr. Mark Brathwaite from South Leeward Conference proclaimed the word in the Christchurch East District in Barbados. Meanwhile, in Dominica, Pastor Joel Silverford from the Central Jamaica Conference was the presenter for the Central and City Districts, with Pastor Marshall focusing on the Eastern and Northwestern Districts. Additionally, 400 family prayer cards were distributed with the view of pastors engaging in family visitation for struggling or missing families and praying for them. The attendance ranged between 20 and 50 members during the nightly program, while the attendance at the Sabbath programs ranged from 100 to 250 members. Turning to families' mental health support. Emotional and psychological well-being have been the Caribbean region's pronounced and topical issue and a major concern for Barbados in particular, seeing that individuals have been experiencing mental health challenges. In providing spiritual guidance and psychological support for church members and the community, 9 mental health programs were conducted, of which 4 targeted the community. Some of the topics included bullying tactics of partners, coping strategies, and emotional and psychological brokenness. Programs such as mental health and the church at the Ebenezer SDA Church had around 40 members present at night, while Sabbath attendance was around 120 members. We held our first mental health conference entitled Things Fall Apart in the St. John District. Featuring 3 presenters, we catered to around 20 youth, 60 men, and 80 ladies in separate venues. The congregants were soothed through a gospel concert during the Sabbath afternoon with some 80 people in attendance. The constituents continued to make great demands on the department for counseling services such as grief counseling, premarital, and postmarital counseling, thus resulted in 286 hours of counseling delivered, with personal counseling being the highest in demand, serving 66 individuals, of which 7 are non-Seventh-day Adventists. Seeing that there is a high demand for counseling, the Executive Committee, through the Family Life Department, has commissioned Dr. Pamela Dottin to undertake a feasibility study to determine the feasibility of setting up a counseling service in our field, focusing on leadership training. There has been a constant appeal for an intervention to address personal, familial, and local congregational issues, so the Church Revitalization Training Program became the premier training program held annually except in 2024, which was the year of evangelism. In light of this, phases 1 and 2 of the training program occurred in Barbados with 99 participants attending, representing 31 congregations. 35 participants from 8 congregations in Dominica attended the training. Participants were exposed to, guided, and trained in various aspects of congregational and ministerial situations. Some of the topics were analyzing dynamics in congregations and exploring biblical sub-themes such as forgiveness. At the time of reporting, phase 3 of the training was being conducted across the conference. The department's work reached far and wide, where the Ministry of Health in Barbados asked the conference to send a team of persons to be trained as mental health hotline operators in response to the increased number of suicides throughout the island. The director led the team of 5 people. Marriage and relationship enrichment was a major focus of the Family Life Department. In 2023, 24 courting, engaged, and young married couples attended the Calming the Storm Relationship Enrichment Conference held in Barbados. By 2024, a total of 27 couples attended from Barbados and Dominica. When it was time for the married couples with more than 15 years of marriage, a total of 73 couples from Barbados and Dominica attended the Marriage Enrichment Conference entitled Take Me to the Sanctuary. Nurturing families is another key focus of the department. A total of 44 nurturing seminars were conducted during the period under review through emotional health seminars, family life seminars, and mental health seminars. These programs focus on areas such as emotional and spiritual bondage and psychological needs of singles. The department has been instrumental in the spreading of the gospel, and so 8 pastoral districts engaged in phases 1 and 2 of the IAD's Family and Mission Evangelistic Initiative in 2024. For a combined total of 23 weeks, this program occurred. Themes such as hope for the family, the home, and the kingdom were the foci of these outreach programs. At the end of the phases 1 and 2, in April and November of 2024, 48 souls were led to God through baptism. The department also focused on personal development among our singles. A two-day weekend program was held in Warner and Point Michel churches in Dominica, with online attendance for the Friday night being around 70 persons, and on Sabbath, approximately 65 individuals attended. Additionally, a 2-night series was also conducted at the Point Michel Church, with attendance being approximately 30 per night. 2 two-day single ministries conferences for singles aged 18 plus occurred in June and August 2024, catering to 3 main age groups, 18 to 25, 26 to 35, and 36 plus, with a total of 69 singles attending the 2 programs on Sabbaths, while attendance on Zoom was 128 persons the Friday nights. Seeing that there are different demographic groups to be catered to, a seminar was held for persons who are divorced or separated, and a follow-up prayer breakfast occurred in April 2023. Additionally, a seminar was held for bereaved persons, while a scenic tour and a picnic as follow-up support programs were held for both groups. Since COVID-19, grief has become even more prevalent in our society. Support for grieving members and community persons connected to the department was given through funeral attendance, and 53 bereavement cards were distributed. 20% of these cards was distributed between community members affiliated to the department, while 55% of them was given to the ECC workers. I now turn to men's ministries. In catering to the needs of our men, we are reminded that the greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold, men who in their innermost souls are true and honest, men who do not fear to call sin by its right name, men whose conscience is as true to the duty as the needle to the pole, men who will stand for the right though the heavens fall. The department's ministry to men included a 4-part series held for a weekend for the city and southern districts in Dominica in November 2022, and in 2023, a Men's Emphasis Day in the St. James District in Barbados. Furthermore, 2 men's empowerment conferences, whose theme was No Man Left Behind, was held in Northern Dominica and in Barbados in 2023. The attendance in Northern Dominica was about 140 men, and in Barbados was over 500. Additionally, 2 prayer breakfasts were held in Dominica. Further work was done by the hosting a Men's Ministries convention at Oldbury in Barbados, attracting some 400 men and teens. A prayer conference was also held in 3 venues across Barbados, North, Central, and South, with over 300 men and teens in attendance. The Family Life Director extends heartfelt thanks to the Almighty God for giving him ideas in how to cater to the needs of the constituents. Additionally, he extends thanks to his secretary, Mrs. Amanda Paris, former secretaries Leandra Greenwich and Kay Jordan. Additionally, he is appreciative to Pastor Amram Williams, the Family Life Director at the Caribbean Union, who is his supervisor. Additionally, he also wants to thank all of the teams who work with him in order to support and ensure that all the programs occurred throughout the time period under review. Maranatha.